Probably give you a quick little introduction. I have been in practice in South Dakota. I just had my 15-year office anniversary, which sometimes, thank you, because sometimes, I mean, for a few of you that have maybe been in practice just a little bit longer, it doesn't feel like 15 years. I mean, the only barometer that I have that makes me realize sometimes that I actually maybe know a little bit more than I realize that I know and that I've been doing this longer is because some of these families that have been coming in as kids that I were adjusting when they were this big are doing, big grown-up things now. I'm just like, well, I look the same, so how are they so much older? I don't even know. So 15 years in practice. Prior to, I went to Northwestern Chiropractic School. We don't talk a whole lot about philosophy. Matter of fact, my first philosophy class, I wish I could remember the name of our philosophy teacher. He did end up leaving, or he kind of got asked to leave the school because he was talking about philosophy, talking about it. And he went to life for a while, and I don't know what happened to him. But I remember sitting there, and he's talking about, when you have a fever, it's not, are you sick? And we're all thinking, no, it means you're sick. It doesn't mean you're sick. It's a healthy body responses. And that was my first thought that made me think of chiropractic in a totally different kind of way. And go through school, don't really have a lot of chiropractic, or a lot of philosophy. Get a privilege of listening to Reggie, and Mark comes out. Reggie sits at a table with me on a break, and some of my chiropractic classmates had gone out and visited and done some philosophical chiropractic trips, and they were telling me about it, and Reggie says, you get to call Barbara in my office and come out and stay with me for a few days, and you can get some chiropractic philosophy. And so I got to do that. I got to stay in Reggie's home. Irene Gold made me pot roast. And we would sit down and have dinner at night, and I got to really get a full dose of Reggie and how to understand how to operate in this model and how to run an office, and so I took all the things I learned from a lot of the people in this room. I took these things I learned from Reggie, and I just put it all to use. I was talking with so Joe D learned, teaching the orientation is the most important thing we do. I can't tell you what the letters are right now, but his whole acronym that he did for a lot of years, it's burned image into my brain, and I really embraced that thought. People come in to the office, and everywhere we go, it's we live in a symptomatic world. We live in a very medically modeled thought process, and so somebody walks in your door. The very first thing you need to do is tell them, you might have walked in my door because of XYZ, but now that you're here, if you're going to be here, you're going to be here because of ABC, these things that I am sharing with you. And so going through that orientation, explaining to them what a vertebral subluxation is, walking them through, I always picture my orientation as being, I'm walking you through a story. Like you're going to come in, you're going to sit down, we're going to talk about these things, I'm going to tell you about what this subluxation is, why they happen, how this is affecting your everyday life, and where you're coming in contact with these subluxations, and then how you get to walk out the door, and you are now going to, your body's going to function from a cellular level. You get to work at 100%. And what do you get to do when you are 100%? You get to put 100% into your life. You get to put 100% into your family, your health, your activity, the things that matter to you. You get to be this because you don't have subluxations, and that's what I can offer you in this office, is an opportunity to live a life without vertebral subluxations. So you walk through this orientation. I am a people person. And I like to about people things. And so we talked those first few visits, we come back, we reiterate the education that's gone through in that first visit orientation. But admittedly, when people come in my office, at some point we kind of stop talking about chiropractic. We start talking about life. We start talking about Susie's spelling test. How did you do last week? You were studying with it. While she was laying on the table, we were working on spelling letters or spelling words, and I've been given a gift in my practice that when people come in the next week, I remember what we talked about, and I ask what we talk about, and I don't necessarily say that because I ask because I care. And so then when they come in the next week and I ask or I bring up that thing that we talked about, and they're like, you remember that? Or even, oh yeah, you got a trip coming up, or this or that's coming up, and then a few weeks later I say, hey, how did that thing go? And they're like, how do you remember these things with all these people that you have coming in? I'm like, well, I wasn't just asking to fill up space in the room. I was asking because I care. And because here I am, checking your spine, finding subluxations, helping you live your life to 100%. How's your life going at 100%? How are these these things that we're talking about here? That's what you get to do out there, and it really becomes kind of it has become my why. So we lose a little bit in our conversations of chiropractic, and over the years, kind of started to realize that, maybe I need to get back to talking a little bit more about chiropractic on these visits. But I don't want it to be this canned, forced thing where I'm like, okay, this week when people come in, I'm going to talk about this aspect of a subluxation, and this week I'm going to, it needed to feel natural to me. So I have a whiteboard, and it's about this size. And every week I pull, now at this point I just have a Word document, and I've written down things that I've written on the board over so that I can go back and recycle them.
Want me to erase that?
No, this is great, I love this.
It's pretty sloppy, but.
So, and a lot of these things they're things that an offhand comment Reggie made in some talk of his. I oftentimes recycle and shorten Monday morning motivations that Savati sends out. And